Hi guys, thanks for watching out there. Andy here with today's astrology. It's Thursday the 19th of April 2018. We have the moon in Gemini. That has made things quite scattered, a little bit difficult to call. The twins influence tends to take the important aspects of anything into two or maybe even more directions than that. It makes us aware that there's kind of two sides to everything. It even makes us aware that there's two sides to us. And there's probably more than that as well, but there we go. Can't go too much into that. The moon is on her way into Cancer. That will be happening tomorrow. So let me see, at 5:04 a.m. tomorrow morning Pacific, 8:04 a.m. Eastern, and 13:04 in the afternoon here UK time. That is UTC +1 or GMT +1. The moon goes void in Gemini, and then at 7:26 a.m. 10:26 a.m. looking because I've got them written on my hand, and 15:26 in the afternoon here in UK we get into the Cancer moon. Things become a bit more emotional. People's vulnerabilities show more. People can be quite touchy. Now, in terms of people feeling their vulnerabilities, though, there is actually another big influence. It came in on the 17th, and it's going to run right the way through till September. And this is the fact that Saturn is now retrograde in Capricorn. Saturn is a planet very closely associated with our fears, and when Saturn is active in the chart, particularly when Saturn is retrograde like this, we tend to find ourselves digging deep into our fears, maybe being confronted with our fears actually in a way we might not have been expecting. But it's a long cycle, there's a long time for that to happen. I felt a lot of that the other day, and I'm bringing that, perhaps I shouldn't make it too personal, but I felt that really strongly as it came in. And the main thing to do is keep it real, a lot like during a Mercury retrograde. Things don't make that much sense, and it's just important to think, hang on, what is really happening here? Is everything okay? And the chances are it is. If it isn't, it probably won't take much to put right. But Saturn, you know, is the fears thing and everything it really is, it's fears. It's the way the human mind works, and we can ourselves overcome it. Experience comes along that helps us to overcome these things as well as we keep moving. Anyway, right, so moon in Gemini, I digress. 12.6% full today, and on the 22nd of April at 22:45 UK time, so that's 2:45 in the afternoon Pacific, 5:45 in the early evening Eastern time, we hit the first quarter of the moon on the 22nd of April. That's when the moon energy becomes stronger, and there's a lot more behind us, pushing behind us as we go along. Certainly one of the reasons that the Saturn retrograde has been as pronounced and as obviously quite difficult as it has been for me and quite a lot of people is simply that the moon was virtually invisible in the sky. There wasn't a lot of manifestational energy behind that, meaning that when we pushed forward and tried to keep doing our thing and making our thing work, it may have faltered a bit, but it's only faltered. These things don't fail, so don't believe the hype. The hype seems to be coming in from the cosmos more than it is even from the internet at the moment. Don't believe that hype. Today the moon is square Neptune, causes yet more uncertainty, yet more confusion, a highly strung kind of situation as well. People believe things that are perhaps slightly different to reality, and they genuinely believe those things. That leads to misunderstandings. The imagination runs a bit on the wild side. Normally that's not too bad, but you know, you can go too far with the old imagination. Some people are gullible. It's a mixed bag, quite honestly, when the moon is square Neptune. Neptune, the ruling planet of Pisces, very much involved with psychic goings-on, inspiration, illusions, dreams. Feeling those things, seeing those things, and understanding those things really comes into the picture when Neptune is involved. Mercury is square Saturn. Now, Mercury isn't retrograde, but let's face it, it is Mercury after all, and it's squaring Saturn, which is retrograde in Capricorn. Wonderful, or is it? Time for realism, keeping things real again. That's always a factor in astrology, actually, and for facing up to the facts as well. Now, facing the facts is something that can be quite a bit of a shock when we first do it, and it is important to face the facts in a way that you think, well, over the coming days, years, weeks, months, whatever it is, that you will actually start to work these things out. That's how it can happen, because the cycles of astrology are constantly turning, and things that are difficult to understand in this situation will be less difficult to understand in another situation. So keep it real there. Venus is void in Taurus. People are sort of moved to action by strongly emotional feelings that they have. Some take risks, excuse me, some take risks that other people don't want to know about. On the other hand, Mars is sextile Jupiter, so someone in the relationship's going to be happy. It's a good time for getting out there, taking initiative, enterprise, good for business apparently, and quick decisions. Everything is likely to turn out positive. That word likely. Okay, I don't tend to give out financial advice or business advice during this, just because I don't want to lose my house if you lose your shirt. So I'm not telling you to invest in anything. If it goes wrong, it is not my fault. But essentially, it is not a bad time for enterprise. Okay, just keep it real, as I keep on saying. Now then, also, it's a busy day today. Venus in Taurus at the moment is going to sesquiquadrate, that is, come within 135 degrees of Saturn in Capricorn. That's coming up this afternoon, 5:23 p.m. UK time. 5 hours or 8 hours behind that, depending where you are in the world. Maybe even 13 hours ahead of it, I haven't forgotten. Also today, Mercury in 5 degrees Aries is going to sesquiquadrate Jupiter. It's a sesquiquadrate kind of a day. 135 degrees of Jupiter. That's coming at 8:24 p.m. this evening. So, let me see, 12:24 Pacific. 15:24 Eastern, I'm getting the hang of it. And finally today, at 10:28 p.m. tonight, 2:28 this afternoon, or 5:28 this evening, Mars is going to quintile Chiron. Chiron is a good one, especially when we're going through the Saturn Saturn Retrograde business, because Chiron is all about the wounded healer, the part of yourself that tries to do good and just doesn't get recognised, heard or supported. Sure it will if you keep working on that part of yourself. That is the big thing, the saving grace that we all have, really. And so as Mars quintiles Chiron, well, you get the Mars energy. That's not always, rough, dangerous, heavy energy then, if you will. Mars can actually be a very gentle thing when it comes to a situation where you can actually do something to go forward. It's the forward motion and having nothing to do with that gets in the way when Mars is involved. But if you're positive, if you're looking ahead and thinking, this could be good, and you've got to remember everything you're doing could be good, then the chances are it'll work out in a good way for you. Okay, very quick look at spaceweather.com, because I've really got quite a lot to say about the other stuff this morning. Solar wind speed under 300, very slow. Proton density 10.5 protons a cubic centimetre. That is loads, that is thick, that is fast. We are actually in a solar wind stream at the moment that's been blowing from a massive gash in the face of the sun, and it's in part of the sun that's facing the planet, and it's right on the equator as well. So that is quite a strong thing, but that's the laws of physics. Okay, well, that is just about it for the astrology today. Thanks for watching, everyone. I am so sorry I couldn't get on yesterday. The internet just didn't work for most of the time. Anyway, meanwhile, I will be here doing this every day as long as I possibly can be. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe, please, if you haven't already. Leave me a comment. We'll share the journey. Have a good one, friends. I'll see you tomorrow.